Hello and welcome. You're watching The Big Story here on Magic Bricks Now. I am Krishna Kumar. As the chaos over cash crunch continues, digital payment apps are certainly cashing in. Spike in online trade is an indication that more and more small traders have begun using cashless transfers. On The Big Story, we ask, are we in the middle of a paradigm shift? But first up, all the headlines that we're tracking. People run out of patience as demonetization woes continue. Chaos witnessed in several parts of India as banks and ATMs continue to run out of cash. Meanwhile, opposition parties take the battle against the note ban to the streets of Delhi and Mumbai. Parties also stall parliamentary proceedings, bringing both the houses to a grinding halt. The BJP gets into damage control mode. Prime Minister Modi speaks to party members, reaches out to disgruntled allies Shiv Sena, and even launches an opinion poll on his app, asking people to hail, bail or reject the demonetization drive. Straight to the big story. Is the demonetization drive going to spark a paradigm shift and make India a cashless society? Finance Minister Arun Jaitley spoke earlier in the day and he said that the centre expects the trade in India to take a giant leap and move towards going cashless across the country. Take a look.
स्वाभाविक है कि थोड़ा सा करेंसी स्क्वीज होगी और करेंसी स्क्वीज से थोड़े दिनों के लिए व्यवसाय कम हो सकता है, लेकिन उसके बाद सारा का सारा व्यवसाय कोई ये कल्पना नहीं करता कि 100% कोई अर्थव्यवस्था कैशलेस हो जाएगी। करेंसी रहेगी, कैश रहेगा, लेकिन अधिक मात्रा में डिजिटल रिप्लेस करता है। जैसे वेतन आपको चेक से मिलता है, बैंक अकाउंट, हमारे सांसदों की तनख्वाह अपने आप बैंक में पहुंचती है, कोई कैश नहीं देता। मजदूरों की पहुंचती है, हर कर्मचारी की पहुंचती है, स्कूल फीस की पहुंचती है। तो हर प्रकार का जो ये व्यय है, पहले हम लाइन में लग के कैश में टेलीफोन का बिल देते थे, आज अपने आप आता है डिजिटल से। तो एक एक खर्चा इस प्रकार से होता जाएगा और एक एक सप्ताह में, पिछले 10-12 दिन में ये जो डिजिटल यूजर है, अलग अलग उद्योग में कहीं 400% बढ़ गया, कहीं 300% बढ़ गया, इस तरह की समाचार आ रहे हैं। तो ये उस दिशा में मूवमेंट है।
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley spoke about India's preparedness to go cashless. We here at Magic Bricks Now went on ground to find out if small traders have begun dealing in online cash transfers. Here's a look at what we found out.
तो कस्टमर को लोगों को भी तकलीफ नहीं होती है, दुकान वालों को भी तकलीफ नहीं होती है, डायरेक्ट अपने अकाउंट में डाल सकते हैं अपन।
कस्टमर आता है, वो कोड डाल के चालू करता है, सीधा इसमें पैसा जाता है अकाउंट में।
किसी को मतलब पैसे की तकलीफ नहीं, अभी नोट बंद होगा, इसके हिसाब से पेटीएम बेस्ट है।
2 डेज़ में जो मैं चालू किया हूँ, 2 डेज़ हुआ, लेकिन बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस है। डेली मूवमेंट ग्राहक ज़्यादा अट्रैक्टिव हो रहे हैं। इसके ऊपर सेल 25% डाउन हुआ है, लेकिन कैश का ट्रांजेक्शन डामाडोल हुआ है ना, इसके लिए।
हाँ, तो अभी चल रहा है, अभी छोटे छोटे का आ रहा है, जब दिक्कत होएगा तो फिर कर लेंगे, चालू कर लेंगे।
कि उसमें आराम से तुम्हारे पास चेंज नहीं है तो तुम कर सकता है। दूसरा, तुम कैश भी दे सकते हैं। अभी हम नॉर्मल किसके पास 2000 के इसका के कैश रहता नहीं है, तो क्या एक पेटीएम कार्ड है तो उससे भी कर सकते हो। बाई चांस नहीं है तो तुम कार्ड भी कर सकते हो।
वही मंगाया, अभी स्वाइप मशीन मंगाया। दूसरा जो हम लोग का उधारी रहता है, वो 1 महीने के बाद चेक आता है डायरेक्ट कस्टमर लोग का।
Well, the demonetization drive has forced several of these traders to use app-based cash transfers. There are still many of those who are uncomfortable with it.
एटीएम नहीं यूज करेगा, अब ये सब हम नहीं करेगा भाई। एटीएम पेटीएम अपने को एटीएम मांगता नहीं है।
पढ़ना तो आना मांगता है, मैसेज के पैसा वो लोग ने भेजा क्या नहीं, पढ़ नहीं पाती है। नहीं, मैं पढ़ी नहीं हूँ ना, मुझे आता नहीं है ना।
So those were the voices coming in from shopkeepers and small traders. Let's now listen to what customers had to say at these markets.
I use internet banking all the time, so for bills, for online shopping, I'm very comfortable.
There are some difficulties going cashless, but it is good that India is somewhere going cashless because, you know, it helps. It is the fastest means through which you can pay, and there is a track of all the transactions.
I don't have to carry cash and it is very quick. So we both are like in win-win situation.
So the big question we're asking here is India ready to turn into a cashless society? And if yes, how soon can we see this transformation happen? And to understand that better, we're being joined by a couple of very special guests. So first up, Ajay Motwani, Vice President of the Bangalore Commercial Street Association, joining us live from Bengaluru. And there is, of course, Mr. Rohit Chadha, Founder and Managing Director of Paylo. And let's go across to Mr. Rohit Chadha of Paylo. First up, Mr. Chadha, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the big story on Magic Bricks. Now, talk to us, a simple question. Are we at this stage with varying internet speeds across the country, across regions, from urban to rural, ready to go cashless with online transfers at this point in time?
I think there's a paradigm shift that we've actually seen.
Okay.
So even when you look at the panwalas, the kirana-walas who were initially never really taking digital payments, are now very present. When we observe them now compared to, say, a month back, when their usual life was very with cash transactions, now they're very open, understandably so. Understandably so, because there is no cash in the market right now. So while they're supposed to be to accept digital payments right now, I think because of this transformation, it will warm them up and make them understand the comfort and convenience that cashless transactions can give them, and will definitely move us to a more cashless society after.
Rohit, but I wanted to ask you this. Talk to us about Paylo and in terms of how you are operating in these circumstances exactly.
So we have a POS application, a point of sale application. So anybody who accepts payments, anybody, a person who sells goods, services, be it a freelancer, a professional, a small retailer or a large retailer, can simply download the app from the Play Store and register with their details and start accepting payments from credit cards, debit cards, internet banking, and all the major mobile wallets. So essentially, it enables you to accept any form of digital payment in less than 5 minutes.
All right, wonderful to hear that, Rohit. Let's now head across to Ajay Motwani, who is joining us from our Bengaluru studios. Mr. Motwani, thank you so much for taking time out to be here on the big story on Magic Bricks. Now, I have so many warm memories of shopping on Commercial Street in all my visits to Bengaluru. Talk to us as a trade, as somebody part of Commercial Street. How do you view this? Do you think we are ready to go completely cashless? Talk to us from Bengaluru Commercial Street point of view.
Perfect. That sounds good, but on a real format, if you see, nothing has changed. Still, we are getting only credit cards and debit cards. 90% of the turnovers which are there on the street, on the stores, is all credit card and debit card. What they are talking about, electronic transfer, when he has got a credit card, debit card, why would he shop that way? It is only for a smaller changes like panwalas and petrol bunks and all those things where you need the smaller change, where these people are talking about electronic transfers. But when you are doing a substantial shopping of clothes, garments or jewelry, you still prefer a credit card, debit card. Why would I shift my money to Paytm or Paylo or somebody else in electronic format and then transfer it again to the shopkeeper? That doesn't make any logical sense.
Mr. Motwani, then simple question
to you. What I see in last 12 days turnaround, in fact, negligible is the word when we are having an electronic transfer. Customers are willingly shopping with their debit cards and credit cards and cash. That is it. That's the only three formats which they are working in a retail format of stores in areas like Commercial Street. Yes, yeah.
Simple question is that, the talk is that the demonetization drive is a big bonus for online apps, wallets like Paytm or Paylo or many other stuff that is available in the market. But the big question is India ready in a sense that all the cash transactions that take place among small traders and customers, customers still have mobile phones and apps and everything, but what about the traders? Do you think that India is ready to go cashless from a small trader perspective? Do you think we're ready or we're not ready?
Traders are ready. Traders are the people who are ready for business. They want business anytime and every time. So they will adapt it very quickly, very efficiently. But the question mark is how many people have smartphones, how many people have good net connectivity, and how many people are literate and educated enough to use these wallets. That is a big question mark.
All right, that is Ajay Motwani, and we seem to be having some technical difficulties connecting with him. But meanwhile, let's head across to Rohit Chadha, founder of Paylo. Mr. Chadha, I'm sure you've been hearing Mr. Motwani talk. It is one is that small, very little transactions can happen online, but largely it's still credit cards and debit cards. So what are we talking about over here?
So we see a lot of hoopla around wallets. While they're a very convenient method for micro-transactions, larger transactions will definitely have to be taken place with using cards or net banking. More importantly, what we should also consider is that it's a very opportune time for the unified payment interface. The UPI can actually make a paradigm shift in the usage as well. And hence what you see is that a lot of users will actually move mobile payments and make the digital payments themselves cardless.
Mr. Chadha, I wanted to understand this also, that even as these apps are meant to proliferate going forward, how do you see adoption rates improving? How soon? My question is, we have all the apps, but adoption rate wise, how soon?
Absolutely, and the merchants have seen and realized and have taken up to it. And so whenever you see e-commerce in general, any market sentiment, it's always driven by a customer adoption, right? Now here we are in a situation where the customers don't have cash, but they still need to transact. And because it's the customer that wants to transact digitally, the merchants have no option but to convert to digital payments. And hence what we've seen is an immense amount of adoption and a very fast, speedy rate where we've got a lot of inquiries and a lot of downloads very, very quickly.
All right, Mr. Motwani, I'm going to bring you in at this point in time. You just been hearing what Mr. Chadha has been talking. Adoption rates will grow exponentially because customers want to adopt. Customers, for them, it's really this is really making it easy for them. In that case, businessmen and traders and shopkeepers, customer comes first. If the customers are ready, then shopkeepers have no option but to be ready. All right, we seem to be having a bit of a connectivity issue with Mr. Motwani. I'm just going to bring this back to Mr. Chadha. Then, Mr. Chadha, one is adoption that we're talking about, and this other is that you mentioned right at the beginning is the fact of the matter is that the internet speeds across the country, and you don't have to be in rural areas or semi-urban areas. Even in big cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Bengaluru, we've seen how 3G connections pan out. Now we're sort of getting into 4G at this point in time, but internet speeds across the country is a major issue. So for customers who are ready to adopt, this is easier for them, and they're rushing around Commercial Street, in Bengaluru trying to shop, and suddenly internet connection goes for a toss and they can't make the purchase that they want to. Isn't that a major roadblock for India going cashless?
Well, that is, yes, I agree. So when you go at remote areas, or when you where you look at blackouts where there is no mobile internet, that's where it does become a challenge. And I think that is a problem that we definitely need to solve if we want to go 100% cashless. However, there are tech companies that are actually working. If I talk about our company, Paylo, the POS application actually works offline as well. So even if the merchant does not have mobile internet, there is an offline method that he can actually initiate a payment. So there is a problem, yes, but yes, there are 100 people trying to find a solution for it. It will never be a roadblock towards digital payments, and it will not be the reason why India does not adopt cashless payments.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up with one last question to Mr. Motwani of the Commercial Street Association, joining us from Bengaluru. Mr. Motwani, we've heard Mr. Chadha out. He's saying that even if internet speeds are varying, the apps have come up with solutions in which you can make payments offline. You don't need to have mobile internet to even make payments. There are multiple ways of working around the roadblocks, like the lack of steady internet and many others. So would you say then that we're in the middle of a paradigm shift? Whatever happens from here on, life will not be the same for shopkeepers and small traders. All right, I'm afraid the line is just not improving, but we'll have to wrap this up. Mr. Chadha, Mr. Motwani, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on The Big Story on Magic Breaks Now. And continuing with our coverage of the war on black money, despite a slew of measures and the government's assurance, citizens' hardship due to cash crunch does not seem to end. In South Mumbai, people's anger spilled onto the streets when a branch of the State Bank of India ran out of cash. My colleague Disha Shah, who was present at the spot at that point in time, gets us this ground report. Take a look.
ये मुद्दा मैंने उठाया था कि मेरा नंबर नहीं आता, पहला नंबर मेरा था। मेरा कोई अंदर नहीं जाने दे रहा, वहाँ से अंदर नहीं जाने दे रहा हम लोग। 4 बजे से खड़ा हूँ सुबह से, आज और कल भी 4 बजे आके खड़ा था यहाँ पे, खाली 4 बजे टोकन लेने के लिए खड़ा था।
सीनियर आदमी क्या करेगा, किससे भीख मांगेगा? हमारा पैसा हो क्या, हमको पैसा नहीं मिलता है। 1004 दिन से जा रहा हूँ, ये लाओ वो लाओ।
हमारा पैसा हम लोग, हमारा मेहनत का पैसा है, वो हम लोग को नंबर लगा के हमारा पैसा हमको लेना पड़ रहा है। ये मोदी ने किया।
70 मौत हो गई, 70 हर जगह अटैक। क्या हो रहा है ये भारत में?
सीनियर सिटीजन सुबह से लाइन लगाए हैं, चक्कर आ रही है, खड़े हैं, कोई पानी नहीं।
आगे सोचना चाहिए था कि भैया क्या हो गया तमाशा, ये पैसे तो बैंक में डालना चाहिए था पहले, बाद में तुमने को जो करने का था वो करना था।
कल इंजीनियरिंग का एग्जाम है सर, और आज लाइन में खड़ा हुआ है सिर्फ 4000 रुपए के लिए, क्योंकि 2000 इसको मिलेगा, 2000 मेरे को मिलेगा। उन्हें लाइन में खड़ा तो इसकी फीस कहाँ से भरेंगे?
ये कष्ट हम जानते कि हम अपना घर कैसे चलाते। क्या यही अच्छे दिनों का वादा किया था? क्या यही विकास है?
मोदी सरकार ने देखो हमको रुला दिया है, आम जनता को। हाँ, वह पैसे वालों को क्यों नहीं करता है? पैसे वालों को क्यों नहीं करता है?
From South Mumbai to Uttar Pradesh's Moradabad, where angry people blocked National Highway 24 to protest the non-availability of cash in banks. The blockade held up traffic and inconvenienced several commuters until it was cleared after some time. Now, apart from citizens across India, we're also keeping a close watch on trade that has been hit severely after the demonetization drive. My colleague Aishwarya Paliwal gets us this report from a fish market in Maximum City, Mumbai. Take a look.
I'm here in this fish market where all these females who have been selling fishes claim that the business has gone down by 90% in the past 10 days. Most of them also claim that they have thrown away stuff worth 10 to 15,000 rupees. They say some of the major problems that they have faced is that people have started asking for fishes on credit. They say that if they sell these fishes on credit, what is it that they will take away home? Another major problem that they are facing is that since this is a perishable item, if they are not able to sell it in the next 2 days, they'll have to throw it away. Third thing which they say is that many of the customers who used to come to them on a daily basis have stopped coming over because everyone is waiting for change. They say there are many customers who come with a 2,000 rupee note, but these people do not have the change to give them back, because of which business has taken a massive setback.
10 दिन में पूरा पेटी फेंका है मच्छी का, क्या करेगा? छुट्टा पैसा से नहीं रहता है।
गिराक उधर मांगता है पैसा, उधर मच्छी दे, 500 का लोट ले, इधर 500 का लोट लेता ही नहीं कोई। हम उधर मच्छी देगा तो मच्छी को क्या लेके जाएगा पैसा, बोलो तू?
अभी तो आधा भी नहीं कमाता है, पाव भी नहीं कमाता है, गिराक ही नहीं आएगा तो कमाएगा क्या?
ये मच्छी नहीं रख सकते ज़्यादा दिन, सूखा मच्छी नहीं एटलीस्ट महीना पर रख सकते, ये दोनों दिनों में हम लोग फेंकना ही पड़ता है।
हम इधर 500 का नोट लेगा तो मच्छी लेने को जाता वो भी नहीं लेता, फिर क्या धंधा करेगा? हमारा भी पेट है।
Now, earlier in the day, Maharashtra's Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis met the Mumbai Retailers Welfare Association as well as the Indian Hotels and Restaurants Association and addressed their concerns while assuring them of a separate counter in the banks soon. Listen to what Viren Shah of the Federation of Retailers Welfare Association and Adarsh Shetty of the Indian Hotels and Restaurants Association had to tell us.
Announcement, after a few days the business dropped drastically, and right now also business is down by almost half. People are not buying excess, people are buying only as they require. What happens is during this month people buy in bulk, they buy 40,000, 50,000, 20,000, like that kind of shopping. Nowadays people are buying around less than 5,000 rupees. If the government is really serious about bringing the end to the black money, then this is the right time where the income tax slab to be reduced, because if government reduce the income tax, more and more people will come forward and pay the tax, which will the money will come to the bank and people will start using the credit card and the checks and all that. We asked for a special counters in the bank to give you the change, and that we agreed that he will immediately speak to the RBI and get it done.
We are totally okay with the kind of demonetization that's happening. We are okay with all the kinds that were happening. We are okay. Business is down by 10 to 20, 30%, but still it's improving with every day. Our issue is with the higher denomination notes coming in circulation, 2001 notes coming in circulation. The change is an issue. If a guest comes to us and gives us a 2000 note and he bills us somewhere around 200 and 300 rupees, we don't have the change to give back to him because the 500 notes are out of circulation. What we requested the Honorable CM was to improve this situation on the ground, which he promised he would do. He said he would speak to the RBI concerned people and make sure that the banks are flushed with lower denomination notes, that is 50 and 100.
And with that, it's a wrap here on this edition of The Big Story on Magic Bricks. Now, thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.